So a few months ago, I was talking about microtransactions, pre-order bonuses, and things along those lines, and I didn't really have a positive outlook on them. In fact, I believe I said something along the lines of this: if you charge that much for a game, it is a complete and utter piss take disrespect to even suggest microtransactions. And apparently I don't change my shirt very often either, so yeah. Back then I was looking at it from pretty much just purely a consumer point of view, which is fine of course, but what I didn't really do is consider an alternative viewpoint. So what I've been doing recently is trying to understand this from a business point of view, and perhaps that microtransactions, pre-order bonuses, downloadable content really should have been on the disc to begin with. Perhaps all these things aren't as bad as we think they are. In fact, they could even be necessary. One might even say they are a necessary evil. Now for this example, I'm going to be using Metal Gear Solid 5. Why might you ask? Well, that's a game I talked about in the last video, so it just kind of makes sense. Well, according to International Business Times, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain cost Konami over $80 million. Over $80 million this game cost to make. Now, according to Metal Gear Informer, the Phantom Pain ships over 3 million copies worldwide, and that's shipped 3 million copies, not necessarily sold 3 million. Likely it's sold less than that. Unfortunately, these sales figures I couldn't find, most likely not available yet. Now, according to Destructoid, Metal Gear Solid 5 sells 3 times more copies on the PS4, so I'm going to stick with the PS4 price, actually the same price anyway, which is $60, $59.99. Well, recommended retail price is $60. I should point out the actual cost, as you see, is actually less than that. Now, according to this from the LA Times blog, Anatomy of a $60 video game. Now, this is from 2010, so I'd imagine quite a bit has changed since then. And also, this won't apply to every single $60 game, but it's just a general breakdown of who gets what from each game sale. So as you can see at the top here, the retailer gets about $15, but down here the publisher gets about $27. So they get their lion's share at least. So with that figure in mind, and with the 3 million copies shipped, so $27 times 3 million copies. Remember that shipped, not sold, but I'm just going to go with the shipped figures for now. That comes to $81 million. Now, this game costs $80 million to make, so that's a profit margin of about $1 million. Now, I don't know about you, but $1 million is a lot of money to me. However, for companies like Konami, where you're putting $80 million into a game, a $1 million profit margin really isn't that much. And bear in mind, that was copies shipped, not copies sold, so the actual margin is probably a bit less than that. So when we start looking at DLC that should have been on the game but sold separately, or pre-order bonuses to get you to commit to buying a game, or microtransactions try and get more money out of you, I get it. From a business point of view, I understand why these exist. But here's the thing, that's 3 million copies shipped in September. Metal Gear Solid 5 was released in September, which means that's not even close to its entire run. To get a better understanding of this, we need to look at Metal Gear Solid 4. So according to Metal Gear Informer, Metal Gear Solid 4 sold 5.67 million copies worldwide. And that's as of October 2012 for the PS3 exclusive, 5.67 million copies. Now, I couldn't find how much the game actually cost to make, but what I did find is that it was less than $60 million. Producer Ken Imazumi stated that the $60 million claim is incorrect. He wanted to say that it didn't cost that much. If it did cost that much, the game would have been multi-platform. So whatever it cost to make in the end, it was less than $60 million. Now, if we go back to our $27 that the publisher gets roughly per game sold, and we times that by 5.67 million copies, we get $153,090,000. So minus the less than $60 million that this game cost to make, we're looking at around about $100 million margin. So the decision to add microtransactions to the next game doesn't really seem so justifiable now, does it? So whether I look at it from a consumer point of view or a business point of view, it doesn't really seem to me like there's any real reasons why these microtransactions and pre-order bonuses and so on are the way they are. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not totally against the idea. There is a place for them in this world, but not to the point where you're just taking things out of the game and selling it to people. These pre-order bonuses, these downloadable season passes and things that are made before the game is even released should come with the game. All these little transactions, microtransactions, should come with the game. There's no reason to take them out and sell them to us afterwards, because that is an absolute piss take when you're looking at the amount of money that is made. Now I get it, not every game is going to make this kind of money. Some games don't do so well, some games do really well, and it's going to vary in terms of actual profit margins. And of course the figures I'm giving almost certainly aren't completely accurate. They're more kind of ballpark-ish figures, but it does give an idea of what sort of money we're talking about, and the fact that when there is sort of hundreds of millions of dollars involved in terms of just a profit margin, or near enough to a profit margin at least, you know, what excuse is there to have these transactions that just take that much extra money out of our pockets, put it into theirs for stuff that really should be coming with the game anyway. And that's how I see it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think they're fair, if you think they're unfair. Let me know. If you liked this video, give me a like and share it amongst your friends. If you didn't like it, give me a dislike and share it amongst your enemies. Either way, let me know the reasons in the comments. Subscribe if you have not already. Thank you for watching, and until next time, it ain't over, baby, till it's over.